All right, hello everyone, Vaughn at Spirit of Health, and we're going deeper. We're going into number 8 in our fasting journey of 11 different fasts, and this is the Grape Fast. Grape Fast, eating only grapes. Wow, yes, you eat only grapes, amazing. There's a book out there about this. It's called The Grape Cure by Joanna Brandt, B-R-A-N-D-T. It's called The Grape Cure. It was published in the 1920s. 1920s, that was 100 years ago. Her story's amazing. She was struggling with chronic health issues. She says cancer. No answers from the doctors. She came across some information on fasting only on grapes, and it healed her. She was so passionate about it, she researched it further and wrote a book about it. And living in England, she thought she could bring this to the United States to help heal sick people. When she presented it to the doctors and the hospitals, she was ignored and actually ridiculed. Why? The medical system had already been taken by greed, control, power, and money. These were her words. Cures were not of interest. Only drugs that can produce huge profits. Another story of medical tyranny. So we know there's a lot of amazing benefits to our medical system, and they can do some amazing things. But unfortunately, healing chronic illness is not one of their strong suits. And there are ways to fast and to cleanse and to heal the body. Grape fasting has been around for hundreds of years. I mean, this woman's book was written about 100 years ago, but this goes way past that. So yes, this literally is about just only eating grapes. Now, why grapes? Grapes are astringent. They squeeze. So they're going to squeeze and cleanse out all the old gunk from your kidneys and your bladder and your lymphatic system. They cleanse the blood. They have a lot of antimicrobial compounds in them. They have a lot of the seeds are actually extremely nutrient dense and beneficial. I mean, people go to health food stores to buy grape seed extract. You just want to eat good, rich, dark grapes with the seeds. Grapes are very good for cleansing the lymph. And I'll get into a couple stories about grape fasting later. But yeah, and grapes taste good. I mean, especially when they're in season. If you can find a local vineyard or somewhere to get those grapes, you should do that. All right, who will benefit from a grape fast? Anyone can benefit from a grape fast. Anyone especially with deep chronic health issues. Grapes seem to be especially beneficial for kidney and the lymphatic system. They're powerful blood builders. Caution should be taken for people who are thin, cold, and weak. Those are the earlier fasts we talked about for warm cooked foods, steamed vegetables, things like that. Advantages. Grapes are great for the body, the kidneys, the lymph, I've mentioned. They're hydrating, yet cleansing. They contain antioxidants that heal the body. Grapes are astringent, so they can pull and draw toxins and waste out of the blood. Seeded grapes are the best. Grapes are also easily available to most people in most areas. So that's another advantage. And this is another simple program where you don't have to think about what you eat. You want to fast, but still have some energy and still maybe do some normal things where you can function. A grape fast is amazing because you don't have to be thinking about, can I eat this or should I eat this? You're only eating grapes. It's very simple. I love that about grape fasting. Disadvantages. There are people who do not do well on all fruit, including grapes. The main concern I have is when people are struggling with candida, yeast, fungus, clostridia, or mold, and too much fruit sugar can feed these conditions and cause a flare-up. I'd be careful with people who are also thin and weak. A different type of fast would probably be better for those individuals. All right? So what to eat? Grapes. Right? Grapes. All kinds. Seeded grapes are best. I like the big seeded globe grapes. I think Concord grapes are amazing. We actually have a vineyard here around Kansas City where I live where we can go pick Concord grapes every season. It's amazing. Organic certainly would be ideal. Grapes can be a heavily sprayed crop. Concord grapes are the best grapes you can get for the grape cleanse. Grape season is usually the end of August into October, but that could depend on where you live, of course. eating grapes, it's best to eat them as meals. Don't just graze on grapes all day long. Eat a meal of grapes, like think of 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But you're just eating a nice bowl of grapes, and an ideal amount's around 2 pounds. In the book, I think she talks about eating 2 to 4 pounds, but somewhere in there, 2 to 4 pounds, but eat it in 3 square meals. Because again, part of fasting is not to be thinking about food all the time, eating all the time. And so, make it 3 square meals. Water is needed, but when you're eating grapes, you're going to be really hydrated from the water in the grapes. So you might not be thirsty. I would encourage you just to sip on warm water. I think that's a great way to fast. A great way to warm the body is just sip on hot or warm water. To avoid, I would avoid grape juice. And avoid, if you're trying to I want to eat raisins because they're grapes. So no grapes, no dried fruit, no grape juice. You really just want to eat whole grapes with the water in them. Incredibly healing for the human body. Length of the fast. A common length of fast that people grape fast is 10 days. I've done 10 days. 10 days is great. 10 days is doable, and sometimes doing longer fasts, that restrictive is challenging. Sometimes doing it 1 or 2 days is great, but maybe not enough to see a lot of really deep benefits to it. So I liked the 10 days, but a lot of people do 40 days plus on grapes only. A lot of people are fighting cancer and different things, have done extended fasts. We know 40 is biblical, and you might be able to do 40 days on grapes, but just doing 1 day, just doing 3 days, just doing 7 days, whatever you can do is just an option. All right, hot body or cold body? Definitely somebody for a hot body condition or a warm climate. Try it to see if it works for you, but not if you have infectious issues. Be sure to do various methods to keep your body warm when grape fasting. So if you're doing all fruit or all grapes or even all raw, you might want to make sure you're outside, you're warm, you're in the sun, you're exercising, you're in a sauna, you're doing something to bring heat into your body. I think that's important. Testimonial. All right, so I'm giving you 2. One is a personal one, and I'm sorry, it might be like, what do they call it, TMI, too much information. But I did 10 days on grapes only, and on the 3rd day, I could only describe my urination as burning fire. I mean, it burned coming out, and it was acids, it's acidosis, it's acid waste. Our body are very full of mucus and toxins and poisons and acids, and when you do something like lemon juice or grapes or these very astringent fruits, it'll start to pull those acids and those wastes out of the body. So I'm not trying to scare you away from doing a grape fast. I'm just letting you know that it can detox your kidneys really quickly. All right, so that's a good thing. The other thing to look for when people are fasting, especially like on grapes or something like that, is dark colored urine, mucus or other sediment in the urine. That's kind of a way to know you're getting deep into fasting. All right, the other testimonial, I made up her name, and I'm calling her Shirley. And this is a woman I've known for years and years and years and years. She's come and gone over the years, doing consultations, giving various advice. But every year she'd go to the doctor, and the doctor told her she had kidney disease. That's what she called it. She said it's kidney disease. And it was based off these certain numbers on her blood work. And every year just had the same numbers that had, kidney disease. So I saw her one time and I felt prompted. I have like a bunch of copies of that Grape Cure book, and I gave her a copy of it, and I said, I just feel like you need to read this, and Holy Spirit moment, right? So she read the book. She did a 10-day grape fast. She came back. She actually wrote me this long testimonial about it. She went and got a checkup from the doctor, and the doctor said, you don't show kidney disease anymore. And she knows it was from doing that 10-day grape fast. So I just thought I'd share that. That was a really, really cool story. All right, food for thought. I know eating grapes and trying some of these different types of fasts could be extreme to some people. I feel, personally, what is more extreme than fasting on grapes is medical procedures, surgeries, taking drugs with side effects, or open heart surgery where they cut somebody open, to me, those things are extreme. Diabetes, neuropathy, losing your feet, cancer, these things are extreme. Again, calorie restriction, fasting, eating grapes only. I know it seems extreme to a lot of people, especially if you haven't done it a lot, but I think our culture of kind of overeating, indulging, that leads to sickness and disease and having to do these very invasive, life-threatening procedures, to me that's way more extreme than changing your diet or grape fasting or something like that. So maybe grape fasting isn't so extreme after all. Maybe it's life-giving, maybe it's restoration, maybe it's healing, and maybe it's getting your body in alignment on a path back to your Creator. Food for thought. If grape fasting resonates with you and it's something you want to try it for a day. Try it for 3 days. It doesn't have to be 40 days or nothing, but it's an option for you. It's been around for hundreds of years. It's benefited thousands of people, and you might be the next one to benefit from a grape fast.